Hello guys, gals, friends, poetry lovers, art lovers, and all you wonderful people of the internet. Welcome to my channel. This video is basically a hello world kind of a video, and I wanted to talk about what I'll be providing on the channel, what kind of content I'll be doing, and what I plan to do in the future. I hope you start following this channel, but that's not a given. I realize that this will be a marathon, not a sprint, that I'll have to do a lot of things to get a lot of followers. And don't misunderstand me, I'm not trying to have a lot of followers in the sense that I'm desperate for money, but I'm kind of trying to do something therapeutic for myself. First of all, I want to talk to a lot of people about my problems, about the problems they're having, about some subjects that I deem important, and that's basically it. This will be a podcast channel in some sense of that word. It's gonna be kind of a hybrid. So one of the first segments that I've said I wanted to do on this channel is a poetry workshop. Why? Well, because what I've realized in the last couple of years of my writing is that people usually believe that their poetry isn't something worth talking about, or they hide behind their masks and they aren't really willing to talk about their problems. They aren't really willing to get started on something that they really like, and they aren't really into expressing themselves. And I believe that's a problem, because people should always have some kind of a way to express themselves, because all problems that we talk about are important. Everything that makes you lock yourself up in your room is important, and everything that makes you move on and make the next step and do something big with your life is important. So I think poetry can offer that, and poetry can basically offer a lot to people who think they are not important. So in these kinds of poetry workshops, I believe we can go over some basics and go over some easy ways you can start expressing yourself, just to get a bit of a start. And then with time, I hope that you can write your own poetry and start expressing yourself in other means also, not just in poetry. If you like writing stories, then you should write stories. If you like painting, then you should paint. This is just a kind of a therapeutic session in which I'm trying to get you and myself to express in some kind of way. That's the first thing that we will be covering on this channel. The next thing is my favorite idea, and I've talked to my friends about this, and I believe that it can be a good thing. Again, mainly for myself, not just for my friend. The next segment I wanted to talk about is Let's Talk, which will basically be kind of a podcast in which I'm covering some subjects. The subjects that I'll be covering are music, art, poetry, depression, problems that I have in my life, problems that I've heard other people have, my thoughts on some things about the world and the society we live in, my thoughts about movies, my thoughts about toys, and basically anything that we want to talk about. So basically that's it. For these podcasts, for these Let's Talk podcast ideas, I would like you to send me messages or suggestions about what you want to hear in the next podcast. I will be trying to get some equipment so that I can stream. I'm currently doing this from my friend's office on his computer. I will be trying to improve on my recordings and improve on this channel. Hopefully that will work. In the next few videos, I hope you'll realize why I'm a bit shaken, why I maybe sound not that convincing, but this is kind of my kind of my confession to the world and kind of my expression to the world. And I'll be giving my impression of the world. I believe myself to be some kind of an impressionist. I'm not a painter. I am learning to paint, but I'm not really there yet. But I'll be giving my impressions of the world through these podcasts. And the third segment I will be doing on these this channel is, well, basically I'll be creating poetry albums, which I will be trying to make in the next few weeks. You'll see how they are. I got this idea from listening to music and listening to the music of the Doors, Jim Morrison, and I realized that they have a couple of poetry albums, and I didn't see any other musicians doing anything like this, and it's really unique and inspired me to try and start doing that, because I mean there are comedy albums, there are music albums, there are opera. I'm sorry, I'm from Serbia, so I'm gonna be sounding half Russian at some time. There are opera albums and so on and so on, so why not make some poetry albums? This will be something that I'll be doing in the future. Hopefully this week I have written some material. It's gonna for the first part it will be some kind of a, well, you know, mini album, because there will be 6 poems I'll be reading. I'll do my best to put in some music and to make it fun. I created this character called Joey Marshall, and well, you'll see. I hope you like his story. Basically, these 3 segments will be carrying my channel. I will be talking about a bunch of stuff, and if I can, I will be accepting your suggestions, adding segments to the channel. I have 1 or 2 days per week in which I can record these things, but a 10-minute video or podcast shouldn't be that hard to create. I'm saying 10 to 12 minute videos because of the whole YouTube thing. Point of this channel is to talk about problems and life goals and what we want to do with everything. So one of my future ideas, if I get a couple of 100 subscribers and if this starts turning into something bigger than I planned it to be, then I'll start streaming on Sundays as well. Not for a very long period of time, but I would like to talk in person as much as I can with you people, with those that subscribe to my channel. And I would like to interview some more famous YouTubers, because I studied journalism for some time. I'm pausing the studies for now because I'm dealing with some personal problems and I want to get my life in order before I continue. So that's basically it. Those are the ideas I've been wanting to tell you, that I want to make known, and that's that. If you agree with everything I said in the video, if you had any suggestions, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and I'll be providing contact information in the bio. So see you next time, guys.